Hi everybody, welcome to Flosstube number 21. I hope you've had a great week. It's been a little bit cool here in Arkansas, but we've got a beautiful day today. I think it's going to get up to around 60, the sun's shining, so I'm hoping to get out this afternoon and run a few errands while it's nice. So I hope wherever you're at, you're either having beautiful weather, or if it's snowing, that's nothing I like any better than to have a snow day, stay in my pajamas, get some hot chocolate, and do a lot of stitching. So hopefully you're having one of those 2 days and just enjoying yourself this past week. I have one finish to show you this week. I had a lot of finishes if I counted all the project bags that I put together this last week, but we had the sale on Thursday night and those have all been shipped out. So I have one other finish that's for me that I want to show you. And this particular finish, I showed you the board last week and I found it on a trip to Michael's and just thought, oh my goodness, that's cute, just like it is. But I think I can do something with some stitching on it. So let me show it to you again. It looks like a shutter, and I know it's kind of hard to see the whole board. And then they've placed these wooden letters that they've painted in red, and it looks kind of like they have some stitching around them. It's just paint, of course, but I thought instead of the O that it needed some kind of stitching. So I looked and couldn't find what I wanted, so I just did this little design, and I like Quaker kind of theme stitching, and so I tried to make a heart that looked a little bit like what maybe a Quaker heart would look like, and then added a little border to it, mounted it on sticky board. I added some Lady Dot white palm around the edge, and then just glued it right on top of the O that was there, and that way it kind of made it a little bit flush with the rest of the letters. So I'm thrilled with how it turned out. And it's going up downstairs in my kitchen. I have a little space on the side of my coffee bar shelf, and I think that's where I'm going to hang this. But this was a quick stitch. I finished it in one day. And what I used, if you can see, I have a DMC variegated thread that was, I think it was number 20. I'll have it listed below though, to be certain. And then in this space, you could just leave that if you stitched it on white Aida and not even have to fill it in. But I went ahead and filled in all these spaces with white Aida. And I liked the variation that was in it. It gave a little bit of some pinks along with the red. And so it turned out like I wanted it. So that's my finish for me this week. It was just a fun, quick stitch and one that made use of this board that I found at Michael's. Now, a bit of good luck for those of you who haven't bought this board yet. I went in Michael's yesterday and they had their Valentine items on sale. And now this board, I wrote it down, it was $19.99, but everything Valentine, or at least if I looked at the sign right for where I was looking, is 40% off. So that's a bargain. So if you've got a Michael's close by and this looks like something you think you might like to stitch, you can run over to Michael's and get it on sale now. So that's always good news. On sale means you've got extra money left over to buy more stitching goodies, or that's how I rationalize it anyway. Also, the pattern is my design, and I'll have it available for purchase on the Violets and Verses page. It'll be $5 for the PDF, and if you'll just comment below the picture, I'll send you and give me your email. You can either private message me your email or just include it below, whichever you feel more comfortable doing, and I'll get the pattern out to you. So anyway, that's my one finish. I have lots of other irons in the fire of things I want to finish, so we'll see what I can get done this week. I just had a lot of stitching on project bags, but those are still lots of fun to put together. Now, my whips. I'm still waiting on my banding for the iStitch band sampler stitch along. And I know it just takes a while because it's coming from Denmark. I cannot wait. I really think I'm going to end up going with the Mer Blue. I've kind of tossed around those 3 colors I showed you last week. And I think that's what I'm going to stick with. So we'll see. I may change my mind before it gets here. But this week, that's what I think I want to use. So I'm sitting on ready. They've just downloaded week 3 of the chart, and so I'm going to have a little bit of catching up to do when it gets in. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed it's coming in pretty soon. My other whip, and I showed you guys this last week, and I'll pull it out and show you what progress I've made, was the Mary Queen of Scots sampler, and I just love it. Some of you had commented below last week that you had to go buy the pattern and do it yourself. So if you're stitching on it, show me what you've got, and we'll encourage each other along to get it finished. My goal, I thought about it this week because it's huge. It's a huge sampler, and I really need it finished by the end of May before I leave for my trip. And so I was trying to think, what can I do to make sure I stay on track? Because I can see a new pattern and go, oh my goodness, maybe I need to stitch on that a little while, and get sidetracked pretty easily. I don't know. Do any of you guys do that? I know I do quite often. And so I have this huge pile. Actually, I have 2 whip baskets because I have so many whips. But eventually they'll get finished. But anyway, I thought about it. What can I do to make sure I get this completed by the end of May? And there are 9 pages to this pattern. So it's a big baby. And if I try and stitch a page a week, I'll make sure that I get it finished. So that's kind of my goal. So I finished the first page last week and got started on the second page. So I hope the next time I come talk to you guys, I'll have the second page finished. But let me show you what I got. And please excuse the wrinkles. From here, just about here over to the edge is the first page. And I'm so happy with the color. I did that buttercream, and then the floss is a Weeks Pea Coat. And I love how it looks. I know it's hard on camera to get an exact look, but the buttercream just gives it a real soft yellow looking, which I have some of that color in my home. And then it's just a pretty navy. It has a little bit of variation in it, but not just a ton, but just enough that it makes it look like it's got a little dimension to it. And then this section will be the second page. See if I can hold it up a little better. So from here to here is the top of the second page, and I've started on one of the letters down below. So as you can see, this is going to be a big project, but it has been lots of fun so far. And once I get the letters completed, I'll start on some of the motifs at the bottom, and I'll kind of hold it up and let you see it again. This is the section I'm working on right now. And then down here are all the motifs, and then the little saying, and my end is my beginning. So I am so excited to work on this and get it finished and take it with me on my trip. So every time I start getting tired, I think, oh, what we're going to do when we're on our trip, how much fun we're going to have, and I will regret it if I don't have this to take along with me. So that's my motivation. What do you guys do? Comment below. Tell me your motivation. If you have a project that you really want to get finished, what is it that you do to motivate yourself to finish? I know I've watched some Flosstubes where people use the Whip Go board, and that's kind of cool. I haven't started that yet, but that's a really neat idea. I may have to do that. And just, it's fun to hear what other people do. It can give us some ideas and things that might work for us as well. So that's my whips this week. I'm getting excited. I'm going to meet a friend. It was kind of a last minute decision. We talked about it yesterday, and we are going to leave Sunday. I have the retreat this coming Friday night and Saturday all day. And then I'm going to get up the next morning, pack up, and I'm going to meet her in Kentucky at a Shaker Village, and we're going to stay there for a few days. I cannot wait. And so I'm going to take my stitching and just take a few days to visit with her. We're going to talk about some future plans that we may have, and I'm going to get some stitching done. So I'll have to share about my trip when I come back. And if you're on my Violets and Verses page, I usually do a traveling violets if I'm traveling anywhere. And so I'll try and do that this next week. And I always try and get little door prizes and things to have. And I have a little pot of violets that you'll have to see if you can find them in the picture. So it's kind of like a Where's Waldo, only it's Where's the Violets. So we try and have a little bit of fun with that. So I'll try and take my violets along with me when I go on this trip. But I'm looking forward to taking my Mary Queen of Scots sampler and hopefully getting a little bit of work done on that as well when I'm gone on the trip. Then let's see my haul this week. I don't have near as much haul this week as I did last week, just because I spent most of the week in my sewing room working on project bags, but I will show you some goodies that I got. I was real excited over the things I did find. At Hobby Lobby, I found this paddle, and oh my goodness, I may have to go back and get another one just because I love the size of it. I'm going to have to kind of do a progression here because look how long that thing is. That's the width, so it's a nice thick paddle, but look at the size of this paddle. It was $15.99. It's in the spring section, and I believe they have their spring on sale this week. So if you could get it 40% off, that's a bargain. The finish is great. That's on here already. So you really wouldn't even have to paint it and stain it if you didn't want to. I mean, you could just mount directly on the paddle as it is. And it's got some nice wood grain. I kind of like this little bit of lighter wood that's showing. So I'm not sure yet. I'll just have to wait and see if I'm going to leave mine this color or paint and distress it. But I got it just because I love the size. And after I got home, I got to thinking about what could I put on it. And I started working on a design, sampler ABCs. And so you'll just have to stay tuned. It's a work in progress. It may take me a little while to get it done, but I'm super excited and think this paddle is going to be perfect for it. So stay tuned. Hopefully I'll have that to show you in the future. So that's a bargain. Great paddle. So if you need a paddle to put any kind of finishing on, you need to run to Hobby Lobby and get that. Then I went to Michael's again, and they had these, and like I said, they have all their Valentines 40% off. They had these little hearts, which are just kind of sparkly, glittery little hearts. Got some little crystal rhinestone-y looking things on them. And then the back is flat. And I like that because what I thought I would do, I'm going to take this bow up here off, but you could leave it if you wanted to. I'm going to take that off. And then I'm going to mount a cross-stitch Valentine picture behind it. And that will be easy to do because of this flat back. I'll be able to just take my sticky board and glue right on the back of this. If I'm hanging it up, nobody's going to see the back. I'm not going to take it down. And if somebody were to take it off the wall and look at the back, they need to see something that looks kind of funny. But you could, if that bothered you, you could take a piece of felt and cover your sticky board or piece of fabric where if it was off the wall and you saw the back, it could still look pretty. Me, I probably would just glue it and hang it up and not worry about it. But I thought that would be so cute to mount some Valentine stitching in and maybe put a little flower or a little bow with some flowers around it up here at the top. So that's another stay tuned. I'll try and get something in it for this year. If I don't, I'll have it at least for next year. But my goal is to get something stitched and in it for this year. So I bought two, one for me and one to give away this week. So that was a purchase. I'm so excited. April Taylor from Homesteadneedleworke. I know she did the boards for the cookie board exchange, a little cookie stitch along design. And I did not get mine finished this year for Christmas, but that'd be a goal for next year. And she had some boards that she did to mount that pattern on that they just looked adorable. So I did get a board in the mail from her this last week, and it's just, look at how cute it's packaged. This is how it came. She's got her card, got a little peppermint tied on. I just thought it was adorable. So I hate to even unwrap it. But great products, great workmanship, and very quick. I mean, I ordered it and got it in just a couple of days. So I was really excited. Then, sorry, I'm knocking everything down. I found these little baskets at Hobby Lobby, and they were $3.99. And I just think they're adorable. They have them in the white, and they also have them in a natural color. And so I got two, one for me and one to give away this week. I just thought they were adorable. any kind of a little design. I'm not sure that I'm going to do Valentine's. I think I may save it and do either a little spring or a little bee picture to go in it. I usually put in my tier tray after Easter's over with. After Valentine's, I'll take my Valentine's down, and then I'll put my Easter in my tier tray. Then after Easter, I put bees and springy plant kind of things out, and that pretty much stays up most of the summer. So I don't know. I'm either going to do flowers, or I may do a little cute bee to go in here. I'll show you when I decide, though. So cute little baskets. The white and the natural color, both of those are cute to use for spring. Then I found at Michael's this thread. I have no idea what I'm going to use it for, but it's colors that I have in my house, so I had to get it. It's just a DMC variegated thread, 4506. And look at those beautiful blues and yellows and greens. It just looks kind of like a spring color to me as well. So I got several skeins of that, so I could, when I decided on something, I'd have it on standby ready to go. I'm kind of that way. I get in the mood and I think, oh, that'd be so much fun to stitch. Well, I want it right then. And so this way, if something hits me, I can run up here in my sewing room, find a piece of fabric, grab that, and I'm ready to go. So it's just fun to have it on standby. Now I have one more thing that I purchased, and I have had this a little while, and I kind of forgot to show you guys. I was thinking about what I was going to share this week and thinking about my haul, and I thought, oh, I don't have that much haul this week. And then it hit me. I had never shared this little antique item I purchased. And even though it's not a stitched item, it's nothing that you can mount stitching on, what goes in the item, people used to use to stuff their stitching. And so my friend Mary Susan is going to get tickled when she watches this, and so will Judy and Julie, because they remember my face when I first heard about these. So let me show you what it is first. And I was lucky enough, I just went online and started Googling these after I learned about them. And that was at our girls' trip in Asheville. And we were antiquing and saw one of these, and I thought, oh, that's really cute. But I had no idea what it is. And if you see the top does come off, and it has a hole in the center. And when we were at the antique shop looking, and there was one, not this one, but it was another one, Mary Susan was explaining that it was called a hair receiver. And I'm like, I've never heard of that. So she had to explain what a hair receiver is. Some of you may know what that is. They were popular during the Victorian period all the way up into the 1950s. And now I can remember growing up, my grandmother, I called her Mama Nanny. But before I started Violets and Verses, I had company with my cousin that was Leela Mae Designs. And that was named after our grandmother. And so Leela Mae had a dresser in her bedroom. And I can remember she kept certain things on that. I don't remember ever seeing a hair receiver, but she may have had one, and I just didn't pay attention to it. But she'd have her powder, and she'd have her hairbrush and comb, and she had certain things that's just where they stayed. They stayed on that dresser. And so women during the Victorian period, like I said, all the way up into the 1950s, would have had one of these sitting on their dresser. And this one happens to be porcelain, or like a little ceramic type dish. Some of them are crystal. Some of them might have been a bronze piece of a little bowl or dish. But most of the time they would have been crystal or a porcelain ceramic type dish. And what happened after the woman would have brushed her hair, if her hairbrush got full of hair, instead of doing like I do, take the hair out and put it in my trash can, they would have tucked the hair down in this little hole. And so all the extra hair would have been saved and put down in this little hair receiver. I don't know. I know there's nothing wrong with that. Our hair is clean, but for some reason that kind of creeps me out just a little bit. I was like, ugh, I can't imagine. I've got a whole tub of hair on my dresser. So it kind of freaked me out. I think Mary Susan and Judy and Julie just got tickled at me because I think my face, I can't hide anything with my face. And I was like, oh, that is just, I just can't imagine that. But what the women would do, they would save their hair and then they would use it to stuff their pincushions. Or if they had a little pillow, like a little pink heap that they were making, they might use it to stuff that. Also, I know this would probably be more during the Victorian era. Hair would be used to make certain pictures, especially if it was from a family member that had passed away. They might take that person's hair and use it to create some kind of a hair art picture. And that's kind of creepy to me too. I don't know. I know for some people that may be just great, but I'm like, oh, I just don't know. I don't think I could handle that. But another thing, after we got to talking about these hair receivers and what it was used for and everything, my husband and I had gone to Scotland back before COVID. And as we were going around doing different tours and things, we saw in so many of the castles, there would be a picture. And it was just a little snippet of hair. Just like, I know years ago, I don't know if that's still a thing. I know when my oldest son was born, you would save a little lock of hair, usually from their first haircut, and either put it in a baby book, or I had one little picture frame that had a little poem about their first lock of hair, and you could mount that tied with a little ribbon up on top. So it could be something like that. But Prince Charlie, who that was all about the Jacobite rebellion in Scotland. They thought he was the rightful king of England, or Great Britain rather. And so they wanted him back on the throne, and there was a rebellion, and this war was fought. Well, Prince Charlie went around, and in a couple of the castles we toured, one of them was on Isle of Skye, there was this picture and there was a little locket of his hair. And apparently he was giving that as a thank you. So it's like, thank you for helping me during this, or to raise funds to try and put me back on the throne. And he'd cut a little snippet of his hair. I teased my husband when we were touring them. I said, as many chunks of hair as we have seen around Scotland in museums and castles, he was bound to be bald by the time he got through, because unless his hair grew really fast, because he left hair everywhere he went. And it's just different traditions and different ways at different time periods of how people do. And I think it's just interesting to learn a little bit about that. But I had gotten tickled when we were learning and talking about hair receivers on our girls' trip, so I had to have one. I am not putting hair in it, just so you know. I have a clear, empty, clean hair receiver. But I do have it in my violet cabinet, because if I had to get one, I had to get one that had little violets on it, of course. So I love my hair receiver. I love the story behind it. Don't think I will save hair and put it in any pincushions, but it's fun to think about the history of those people that came before us and things that we just take for granted. I'll go out and get my lizard litter and cotton batting and use it to stuff my pin keeps. And years from now, somebody may see lizard litter and think, oh my goodness, I can't believe they used that. And there may be something even better in the future that they can use to work with. But anyway, I just thought that's my little history tidbit for today. I thought I'd share with you guys. Try and look at my notes here, make sure I don't leave anything out. We have 4 winners from last week. I want to share with you. Let me move some of this over so I can get to them. I had 3 different rolls of Valentine ribbon, and that went to Heather Ellis. So Heather, if you will send me a message, let me know your mailing address, and I'll get that in the mail to you this week. Then we had this little wooden heart piece that I got. Looks like I think you clip a photo, but I'm going to use it to put a little stitch perforated paper piece in it. That goes to Gerry Fix. So Gerry, if you'll send me your information as well. Then I had this little heart baking dish that I got from Michael's. I thought it'd be a great Ork container, or you can make a little pincushion to go in it. This goes to Linda Norris. So congratulations, Linda. Same thing if you'll send me your information. Then I found this little heart love bag from TJ Maxx. Be great to put some stitching in. And the winner of that is Linda Spost. This must have been the week for the Lindas. I have 2 winners with the name Linda. So I'll have all of this down below as well, just as a reminder of who our winners are this week. And send me your information and I'll get these in the mail. I'll be here till Sunday and then I'll leave Sunday. So if you'll get it to me before then, I'll get it in the mail before I leave and before we have the retreat going on. I have a few prizes that I want to give away once again this week. I have the basket. I also have this little wooden heart I thought was super cute. This is a Hobby Lobby. I think they have them this year, but it was from last year. I just have a storage of finishing things, and I had several of these I bought thinking they would be cute to mount something on, so I'll give one of them away. And then the little red glitter heart. That's also a giveaway for this week. So just comment down below and I'll draw from everybody who leaves a comment and announce the winners in my next Flosstube. I do want to say thank you to Stitching Scottie and also Neon Night Stitchers. Thank you for the shout out. I appreciate that. I enjoyed watching your Flosstubes and enjoyed seeing your finishes and everything. Also, go over and check out Saras Stitches. The Crazy Band Lady Stitches. She's getting close to another milestone on her Flosstube. So let's help her out. Go over and watch and subscribe. Help her reach that. Darlene Dion Designs. She's got a great Flosstube. The Long Dog Stitcher. 614 Stitcher. All of those are such sweet ladies. And so if you have a few moments and you've not checked them out yet, go over and check out their Flosstubes. I also want to say thank you. I had several new subscribers this week. As soon as I hit that 2,000 mark, I'm getting closer every week. I'll have another giveaway. So spread the word. Let's subscribe if you haven't done that yet and like the video, and I appreciate all that. Also, if you've not joined the Violets and Verses page, that's where you can go to find out more information about the sales that we have. I have lots of freebies on there, and currently there is a Stitcher's Heart Challenge, and I'm getting super excited. I know some of you are stitching on it already, and I cannot wait to see the color choices you've made, to see how you're finishing it, and just inspire each other. So I'm excited to start seeing those posts. On February 14th, what you can do is go over, download the free pattern. It's on there as a PDF. You choose your own color combination, stitch it, finish it however you would like to finish it, and then post your finish. And for every place that you post the finish, whether it's, let's say you post your finish on my Facebook page, Violets and Verses, and then you have an Instagram account, so you post your finish on Instagram, or you also have a Flosstube and you show your finish on Flosstube. If you tag me at Stitcher's Heart Challenge, then for every place that you post, you earn an entry. And on Valentine's Day, I will draw from everybody that's posted. And let's say you have 3 entries, well, you'll have your name in 3 times. I will draw a winner of a $50 gift certificate to Stitcher's Garden. And she's got a great shop. If you're ever in this area, do stop in. It's so much fun to just explore and see all the things that she has. If you do, holler at me. I'd love to run down. It's maybe 5 minutes from my house. I'd love to run down and meet you. Maybe have a cup of coffee or something. But if you're not nearby or not where you can stop in, she also has a great online presence as well. So you can go online and use your gift certificate that way as well. So I think that's all I have this week. Stay tuned. Like I said, I have our retreat coming up Friday night and all day Saturday. I cannot wait to participate in the retreat with all of you guys that are going to be there. I have loved seeing your stitching. You guys are quick stitchers and you do such a beautiful job. I've seen so many beautiful stitches so far. We'll have fun doing our finishes. Then Claudia will be on to share everything that she knows about Bristol samplers and perforated paper samplers and that connection between the two. Also, Richard will be on to share information about antique samplers. And I just feel like we're going to go away with so much knowledge about our love for samplers that I can't wait. So you may want to have a notebook handy for Saturday and when they're doing their presentations to take notes. I know I'm going to. I can't wait to learn even more. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to my girls' trip coming up, and I'll take the Violets along and travel with them as well and share that with you. So I'm hoping for you to have a great week as well. Get some stitching in. Enjoy the weather no matter what it is, whether it's a hot cocoa PJ, snow day kind of day, or if you're like me here in Arkansas today, a nice sunshiny day where you can get out and run some errands. So enjoy your day no matter where you're at, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.